project is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Time allocated is 5 to 7 minutes. Speech title is Hardest Thing to Learn. Best of luck, Toastmasters.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I'm going to tell you a story of the hardest thing I've ever had to learn. And that is how to take rejections well. My story begins in my freshman year of college, when, like most students, I was looking for an internship. Because it was my first year, I knew that no big firm would hire me as an intern. So I thought it would be better if I looked at startups. And after a lot of searching and interviews, I came across a startup called Event Live in Boston. I would give me a slot as an intern. Now what this startup did was that it had a website where it would sell discounted tickets to concerts and events. The company had been in existence only for 2 months, and it had only 4 employees. And I thought it would be a good chance for me to see how a company starts from scratch. And so I took it. On my first day, the CEO of the firm informed me that my job would be to pitch potential partnerships to businesses whose tickets that we could sell. So these could be event management firms or Broadway production firms. He would handle all of the important meetings, but it would be my job to make sure that businesses, that we are a firm that they can partner with. Now there's something you need to know about me, and that is, that was up to that point I had never actually stepped out into the real world. I had no sales experience, and because I grew up in a very conservative and formal household, I was told never to put myself in a position where I might have to hear no from someone. And so I told him, like, look, I can do tech, I can do finance, like, you can give me that instead of this. And he said, no, this will be your job for the next 10 weeks, and I will teach you how to hear no. For the first 2 weeks, he took me to all of his business meetings to learn how to pitch. And I saw him pitching his startup, and I could see that he was really not as successful as I imagined he would be. Out of the 10 meetings I went to with him, he only succeeded in 2. And I thought it would be mortifying. Like, if I had spent my time and effort and money into building a startup, and I had to hear a no to my face, I'd be ashamed of it. But he was not. And then eventually, after 2 weeks, he said to me, well, now you have to pitch. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I was petrified. I was shaking before I entered my first meeting. And I was not wrong, because I bombed completely. I could see that they did not understand a word of anything I was saying, because I did not understand a word of anything I was saying. It went so badly that my boss had to step in a few times and adjust things. And eventually, after meeting, I dragged myself out of the room, and even he had mercy on me, and he took me to lunch. And at lunch, he gave me a pep talk, like, rejections are a part of life, and so on. And then it was a really encouraging talk, and then he said, the next meeting is in 60 minutes. And I bombed that one too. In fact, for the first 2 weeks, I could not sign on a single firm. It was only in my third week that I signed on one. And in the entire internship, I could only sign on 10 out of the 100 I pitched to. But I learned something in that summer that was far more important than anything related to business. And that is, you need to learn to take rejections well. Whenever you are stepping out into the world doing something new, you will get rejections, and you will have to hear no, and you will fail, and you will fall. And it is only those people who come back from that, they're the ones who are able to do well. And the biggest example of this is my mentor, whose startup actually failed. But he then started an investment firm, and he's now the CEO of one of the biggest investment funds in the US. And I'm grateful that for 10 weeks he mentored me in how to hear no. And since that summer, hearing a no has never been painful for me. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.